episode 173 of the Parkrun Adventurers podcast. There's going to be a lot of malarkey. My name is Mel Erbacker. I am the co-host of this esteemed podcast. And joining me this week, a very lovely lady who has been a roving reporter for a little while. She is on the Channel 5 news crew, and following on the trend from having people with initials, we had PK, then we had TOC. Those are the initials of their names. It was pointed out to me that perhaps I should have another ME on to join the ME that I am. So everybody, please welcome Melissa Ellis to the Parkrun Adventurers.
Hi, Mel. Hi, everybody. This is not going to be confusing at all. Mel and Mel.
No, well, see, it's not confusing for us because I know that when I say Mel, I'm talking to you. I'm excited to have another female voice on this week. It's been great having the boys, but it's always nice to have a bit of a gal talk. So I want to know where you parkran last Saturday.
I ventured back to a local parkrun that I've been to quite a bit recently, which is quite out of character for me because I'm usually never in the same place 2 weeks in a row. But to start off with, I had planned to go to Birdsland, but through the week my plans were thwarted and I just didn't have the time that it takes sometimes for an adventure when you need a few hours to get over there and do your park run and a few hours to get home. So I was like, a couple of my friends were doing a milestone over there and I desperately wanted to be there with them, but I just couldn't wangle it. So I was like, where else can I go? What's happening locally that I can reach, and where will something, pique my interest? And it just so happened that Point Cook, where I'd been the week before doing the Where's Wally theme, they had another theme. So back I went. Back to Point Cook. So they had, they've got a unique situation at Point Cook where they have a surplus of Craigs in their parkrun community. So they had a Craigs Day where all the Craigs volunteered. It was lots of fun.
I would never call having a lot of Melissas a surplus of Melissas. I would just call it, a strength of Melissas or something like that, because it can only add extra awesomeness to have more of us.
Is that the collective term for a group of Melissas?
Yeah, let's make it the collective term for us. Wait, what did I say it was? A strength. Yeah.
Yeah.
Either a strength or an awesome. An awesome of Melissa's. That would probably work also.
What about you, Mel? Where did you go?
I had an adventure too. I was at a trail event called Glasshouse Mountains Conservation Parkrun. It was actually the final event that I needed to complete to join an unofficial club for the region that I live in, which is the Sunshine Coast, but the club is known as the Pineapple Club. Obviously, you would be aware that I have quite a fondness for pineapples, and I wore my pineapple tights to the event. And yeah, it was a good morning. Great volunteers, wonderful atmosphere. I came, I think, 35 out of 36 people. So a really small, boutique, friendly event where everybody knows everybody and they pick you out immediately if you're a visitor because obviously they're so close-knit. Some other locals from the Sunshine Coast that are friends of ours, the Mannings, who we actually first met when we were in Malaysia, they came down as well. And so we all had a bit of an adventure together with their girls who Wes adores playing with, which is always nice. And had breakfast afterwards, and it was just really chill. It's an event that's really close to where my nana actually lives, and so we popped in all parkrun fresh to see my nana afterwards, and she was happy to see us, so that was cool. It was a nice little adventure, sort of quite close to home, but it does mean that the Nendies are starting to move a little bit further afield for me. And you would know all about Nendies that are ridiculously far away because you are a very prolific adventurer. Where is your Nendi these days?
Oh, I think it's in Tasmania.
Well, that's an achievement in and of itself. It's in a completely different state from where you live. That's very, very impressive.
That's as the crow flies. But I think I did some calculations the other day because I was getting itchy feet and I thought, I really need. So that tourist tool, it just tells you as the crow flies. It doesn't tell you in, drive time or kilometres.
No, you need to sort of cross-check it with Google Maps to do that.
Yeah, because I keep looking at Ginninderra and I keep thinking, no, I know Ginninderra's on the other side of a mountain range. That's going to be difficult. So
that will add hours to the drive.
So it's I think it's Meningie is actually on the mainland. It's my Mendi.
Well, that's still in a different state to where you live.
Yeah.
So you still have to drive to South Australia to get to that one.
Correct. We haven't had a lot of launches in Victoria. It's been really quiet. I don't think we've had one since April.
Well, see, this allegedly great estate, according to a previous podcast co-host, and nobody's launching events down there.
There's one on the calendar. We've got Berwick Waters coming on board in November. I know the area well. And it'll be another lovely parkrun.
Undoubtedly. Now, you're a big-time adventurer. Nendi's not even in the same state that you live in. I would like to take it back, as Scotty would say, to where you first got involved with the podcast. Before you became a roving reporter and joined the Channel 5 news crew, which we made you jump through quite a few hoops to get into. Sorry about that.
You did.
It was totally worth it. It was totally worth it, though.
You got your enjoyment out of me, hey? And I said to Toc and Gary, I went, hey, guys, what did you have to do to get onto this news crew? Because this is really hard. And they went, oh, no, we didn't have to do anything at all.
Yeah, I think whether or not you consider it good lucky or bad lucky, I think when you were sort of arriving at the entry to the Channel 5 news crew, I'd say Scotty and I were just getting bored. And so we just had too much time on our hands and thought, how can we make this interesting? Obviously you already deserved it, but we thought we would make you work for it a little bit harder just to make content. And look, we tried to do the same thing with Mark, who joined earlier this year. But of course, he completely put the kibosh on it by outwitting us at the first opportunity. So we thought we were being extremely clever, and it turns out not so much.
Oh, well, it was all good fun, and I hope it was a little piece of podcast history and memorable.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I certainly enjoyed and always got a good little giggle out of the challenges that we set you and when you just rose to them.
I love a level up.
Yes, you do. And we love to give them out. Or historically we have loved to give them out, and I still do. So, but yeah, you were a contributor to the pod far before you became a member of the Channel 5 news crew. You were one of the few people who would submit audio when we set out the random challenges in the early days and things like that. Can you remember some of the earlier things that you sent in for?
I do. I remember the first one. I think you asked for adventurers to go to a parkrun course that they hadn't done before and follow the course description from the website and run a freedom run. And so, yeah, I dragged my sister and Zoe down. Zoe was on her scooter and I dragged them down to Gels Park. I studied the maps. It's pretty easy, Gels Park, really. It's just 2 loops, but I hadn't been there before and I didn't really know the paths, and I was nervous about it, recording the audio, and we were racing the
light, I think, too, weren't you?
Yes, yeah. We were racing the light, and Zoe was like complaining because she was a bit littler then and she had sore legs. But, yeah, no.
What is my crazy mum making me do this time? It's the same old story.
Yeah, so no, that was the first one, and then a second one was another challenge that was set to run a parkrun course in reverse, and Paul and I were down at Portland chasing our statesmanship events, and I recorded some audio there that day.
I think we set those ones specifically because Scotty seems so geographically challenged when it comes to trying to follow course descriptions without a guide or a person to give him the in-person translation at an event, such as you would receive in a first-timers brief. So it's been a while, but between challenges like that, I think we need to bring more of those back in, because I loved the early days of sending people adventures to go on and pushing people to challenge themselves.
I love them too. I want to be that reporter that gets the challenges. That's like, you know how the TV shows, they always have that one person that has to go out and do the crazy stunt. I can be that person.
Oh, don't give me ideas. I think you might have just thrown down the gauntlet.
Well, but anyway, so all these little challenges, they started to give me confidence. I just got a little bit used to recording audio, and I was getting a little bit more, relaxed with doing the whole audio thing and sending it in. And yeah, so eventually I think at the start of the end of 2017, I decided to set a New Year's resolution for myself to actually record a roving report in 2018.
And did much planning go into where you would do it and that sort of thing?
No, not really. I think once I decided to do it, I wanted maybe an event that had a bit of it was either a birthday or a launch, so that maybe there was people dressed up or there was some sort of excitement about the day. So we had a launch coming up at Lakes Entrance, so I decided to do it there, and I tried to think, what could I do that would be a little bit different? I want to do the same thing as everybody else. I don't want to try and copy anybody's style. So I think initially I started out trying to think along the lines of fashions of the field and, interview people and ask them about maybe what they were wearing, what their running club was. Or the very first person I think I interviewed was one of the cardiac athletes, and I asked her about her shirt, Maxime. So she's from Point Cook. There you go.
You have an excellent memory. I can't remember what we did last week on the pod, let alone interviews all that time ago. But it's been a fun ride. We've loved having you along, and now you've made it to co-host. Where to from here?
Well, who knows?
Sky's the limit.
Good morning, parkrun adventurers. This is Mark reporting in for the Channel 5 News crew from Ginninderra Parkrun, which is in the northern town centre of Canberra. We're here for event number 381. This parkrun actually I think is quite big today. Last one for winter, and I think half of Canberra's turned out to Ginninderra Parkrun. This parkrun has an average run time of 30 minutes 45 seconds, and its biggest attendance is 374. I think we go pretty close to that today, to be honest, and has an average number of 167 per week. We'll go have a chat to a few different parkrunners. Well, I'm with Will Barlow, who got a mention on last week's parkrun for reaching a milestone, 250. Congratulations.
Thank you. We had an amazing pace group. Managed to rope in all my friends, and we all ran out 350s, and then 330s, and then 1855, and I don't know what happened. There was a bit of up, bit of down, and now we're at the finish, and there's caramel slice, and lots of smiling faces, and lots of photos.
When I went past you, it was a bit of an Elliot Kipchoge feel. You're surrounded by a rather large pace group. That was pretty impressive.
It was, it was good. Yeah, I loved having all my friends surrounding me, just pushing me forwards. It felt effortless. It was awesome.
Well, congratulations on the 250 and the PB today.
Thank you.
For those who are listening, a little fact is that it was actually Will that got me onto doing the roving reports for Parkrun Adventurers. So you can thank him or not thank him, depending on how you like it.
I like the stats, Mark. The stats are the great.
Thanks, mate. I'm with Debbie, who's run director today, Ginninderra Parkrun. Good morning, Debbie.
Morning. Hello.
I think you got a pretty big turnout today. Do you know what kind of numbers we're expecting?
We had a massive turnout this morning on a beautiful morning in Canberra. I'm not too sure. I think it may be close to 300, maybe a bit more.
Certainly above the average, but may not tip the highest attendance record though.
Definitely above average, but no, not of the. Who knows? It may even be the biggest ever in Ginninderra.
Well, it seems that Canberrans have kind of realised it's the last parkrun of winter and decided to head out for a run today.
Absolutely. They've said goodbye winter, hello spring. They've come out for a run, a walk, a jog, a shuffle, just to meet people and have a good time.
It is a very good, friendly crowd here today. One thing I wanted to talk to you about is that not long ago you had to change the course. What brought that about?
We changed the course mainly because we used to run part of a road, and so for safety we swapped the course around, and it's a great course, an out and back course now, so you can high five runners as they're coming back through, and so it's all good and it's lovely, it's very beautiful.
And how did the crowd take to the change?
They took to it really well and were very supportive, and I think they enjoy it.
Well, you know, a change is always good, they say, and it is still a very pretty course running around Lake Ginninderra and some wonderful views. I
encourage you all to come and visit, have a look. It's fantastic, great people, great crowd, great coffee afterwards, and it's very friendly. Come.
All right, well, thank you very much for today. I had a great run, and it was good to see Will get his PB for his 250.
Yeah, well done, Will Barlow, 250. Woo!
Go, Will!
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, that's me done at Ginninderra parkrun. Like I said, Ginninderra parkrun in northern part of Canberra. It's a wonderful course. Next time you're in Canberra, one to put on the list, and get you also towards your BGs for the parkrun challenges if you're chasing that. So Mark reporting out for the Channel 5 News Group.
Hello Parkrun adventurers, it's Greta here and I'm at Strathalbyn Parkrun this morning and it's a beautiful day and I'm here with Mel, and Mel, you're the co-event director at Strathalbyn.
Hello, yes I am. I'm the co with James Clegg.
Awesome. Well, so could you perhaps tell us a little bit about the Strathalbyn Parkrun? What's the course like?
The course is an out and back course. It's a lovely course, except we do have a little hill that we do complain about. But it is lovely.
Actually, I reckon I saw 2 hills.
Well, there's one hill, especially with the pram, when you're running with the pram. It's tricky pushing the kids, but it's good. Yeah, so out and back. Running along the river, it's beautiful.
It is gorgeous, isn't it? And it's a paved course, and you're timing at the moment. You've got someone coming in to
concentrating.
So we're gonna multitask here.
Well done, Sharon.
Good job.
Done, Sharon. You're not at the line.
Well done.
And I've just got another person coming.
Well done. Good job. And how long have you been event director at Strathalbyn?
So 12 months?
A whole year now?
Yes, I have.
That's awesome. And did you start right at the beginning of Strathalbyn Parkrun?
Not long after it started. So I had my son and then I started running to get fit, and then just started volunteering, and then over time then I started being director, and then I took over from Paul Jude as co.
Oh,
so,
lovely.
Yeah.
Lovely. And you bring your kids out to parkrun?
Most weeks, yes. Yeah. I like to bring them, not have them occasionally so I can run myself without them. But yes, exactly. Most weeks, yeah.
And so what made you start coming to parkrun? You were talking about getting fit. Did you have a friend who brought you, or did you just...
Yes, my friend Rebecca. So I got into running with my friend Rebecca, and she had already started coming, so then I came, and then... it was from there I just started doing more and more.
So, awesome.
Yeah.
And speaking of more and more, you were telling me earlier that you were going to do quite a long run soon. Tell us about that.
Yes, I'm doing Eurobilla for the first time.
Yeah.
Crazy, maybe.
And for you got another one coming on.
Well done.
Good job. And for those people who aren't in South Australia and who might not know what that is, can you tell us a little bit about it?
So Eurobilla is 56 kilometres, but I'm told that it's a little bit over that.
Maybe about 58. Maybe.
Okay, oh gosh. And it winds through the hills, and
it's not flat, is it?
It's not flat at all. So my poor knees going down the hills, I think, will be my challenge. Yeah. But we'll get there, and hopefully I don't get disqualified. By not making the time, but I just need to do it. It's been on my bucket list, so
Yep. And you're doing it with friends?
Yes, I'm doing it with a few people from parkrun. So
well, hopefully you'll have a lovely time. Yeah, it is a beautiful course and it's on trails, so you just got to enjoy it.
Yes, thanks, Greta.
Take lots of photos.
Thank you. Thanks, Greta.
Well, good luck for Eurobilla. Thank you for everything that you do for parkrun, and thanks for having me today at Strathalbyn Parkrun.
Oh, that's okay. Thanks for coming out.
Hello parkrunners, and we are now having a post-parkrun coffee, and I'm here with
Robin
and
Helen.
And Robin, you're from Main Beach.
I am, yes.
Yeah. And you're visiting here today?
I am, yes, staying in Strathalbyn.
Excellent. And who are you visiting?
My cousin.
And
Helen.
your cousin is Helen.
That's me.
That's you. Now, you were telling me you've done a fair few parkruns. How many have you done today?
Today was my 224th.
Excellent. So coming up close to the 250.
That's the aim.
Yep. Yes. And you were also telling me that you're chasing a few of the milestones, or the unofficial milestones.
Yes.
So you're almost an alphabetier. Which ones haven't you done yet?
I haven't done E, H or J.
Excellent. And so what's your plan for those?
I think I'll go to Highfields, which is near Toowoomba, for the H. J is a toss-up between Jubilee Way or Ginninderra, which would be in the summer.
Well, I'll put in a vote there for Jubilee Way, South Australian Parkrun. Come back to South Australia.
And the E, I'm undecided. I'm going to Europe next year. It might be Edinburgh.
Oh, that would be lovely, wouldn't it?
That would be, that'd be really good.
Yeah, that'd be wonderful.
Depends on the weather.
Yeah. And what about you? How many parkruns have you done?
Oh, I'm actually not a park runner. I'm a cheerleader.
Ah.
But I have done 3, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. I've done a volunteer in Darwin for the park run. They were very short on helpers the day that we were there.
Yeah.
I was happy to be able to assist.
Oh, that's lovely. That's lovely. And you've done some travelling to get all of your various milestones. Where else have you travelled to?
I've been as far north as Cairns, south as Albert Park in Melbourne, and I've done Woodridge Riverside Park in Western Australia.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and a couple in South Australia.
Yep. So you're getting close to your Peel Club?
Yes, I've only got Tasmania to go. I've done ACT in Northern Territory.
Yep.
So just need a trip to Tassie.
Excellent. And is that on the cards for this year?
I've just paid to go on a cruise in Europe next year.
So the Peel Club might need to wait for a little while.
Yes, it might. But I'll probably go to Launceston with Helen.
So do you two do a lot of travelling together?
We do, yes. We're known as the 2 travelling grannies.
Excellent. And how long have you been, so your home parkrun is Main Beach. How long have you been running at Main Beach?
I did the 3rd one, event number 3, back in the day.
Wow.
So if you look at how many I've done, I've probably done about half the amount of parkruns that I could have done.
Yeah.
And I've 30-something volunteers.
Wow, that's great.
Volunteers.
And you were saying to me that you've got a bit of a pattern with the way that you do your parkruns.
I have at the moment. I'm aiming for 2 a month at Main Beach, 1 tourist and 1 volunteer, but I'm a bit behind in my volunteering.
Right.
So I need to make up time.
Right. And what's your favourite volunteer role?
Well, I like doing tail runner.
That is a good one.
Yeah. But I'm happy to do hand out tokens at the end because you get to see the finishes, and being back of the pack person now, I don't get to see the front runners, and I like to do that.
Yes, yeah. Some of them are fairly impressive, aren't they, when they come across the line?
Yes. We had someone in Queensland who walked it in 19 minutes 28.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So if you're watching the World Athletics Championships this month, look, give a cheer out to Dane Bird-Smith.
Oh, he's amazing.
He is.
Yes. Actually, I think we've spoken to him on the Mel and Scott have spoken to him on the podcast before.
Oh, right.
Yes. And I've seen him race. He's amazing.
He is.
Yeah, very impressive.
He probably holds the parkrun world record for a walker.
Yeah, probably. We'll have to get our stats guy to look that one up.
Yeah.
There you go, Mel. That's one for the stats list.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for visiting Strathalbyn Parkrun today. It was lovely to meet you and to hear about all your parkrun adventuring.
It's a pleasure.
And continue to enjoy parkrun. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
G'day Parkrun Adventures, it's PK checking in from Lochiel Parkrun for a roving report, and I'm here with a lot of people wearing fluoro. I know a lot of people love wearing fluoro for Parkrun, but they're wearing fluoro today because it is Lochiel's 4th birthday. Beautiful parkrun here at Lochiel. It's on Linear Park. It's one of 3 parkruns that go along Linear Park in Adelaide, and in the Campbelltown area, just near a golf course. We go past some wetlands and then out along the river, which I think is going to be pretty well flowing today. Anyway, we've just heard from Janet, today's RD, do the speech, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I see some cupcakes, bring it on. I know there's going to be a few bridges, Scotty. Hope you're listening in, that you'll appreciate that. Let's get out there and get amongst it, and then maybe chat to some crew after. Well, I have just done the awesome Lochiel parkrun, and it's lots of fun, and it was such a pleasure. I was hoping that this young lady was going to be here, and not only is she here, she is today's RD. G'day, Janet.
Hello, PK, and welcome to Lochiel.
Thank you so much. Janet, you're one of the ED. Are you the co-ED or the ED?
I am the ED.
She is the ED, sorry. And congratulations on a beautiful parkrun and on your 4th birthday.
Thank you very much. Yeah, we've had a good turnout, just waiting to see what the final numbers are.
Yeah.
But looks like everyone's come back with great big smiles, and I think definitely a couple of PBs, because the cupcakes are on the other side and they're all rushing back for them.
Well, I have to admit I've had a few of them, and they're pretty good.
Good.
And great to see so many people getting into the fluoro theme.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice, easy theme. I think it's easy for everybody to find something to wear, and if you don't wear anything, you don't feel out of place. So it's fantastic.
Well, I hope people do wear something, but you don't.
Yes.
Just not fluoro.
We do have a naked run coming up.
Oh,
so
indeed.
yes.
That is coming up. That's lots of fun, isn't it? And how's it been here at Lochiel over the last year? I'm not sure. Someone probably did a report. Greta might have done a report from here before, or is this the... Anyway, if not, welcome Lochiel to the Parkrun Adventurers world. But so 4 years, highlights, challenges, good times. I don't know.
There have been so many, and I think we're just so fortunate here. We've got the most amazing community. You look at our volunteer roster, it's always full, sort of 6 weeks in advance. It's really, really great. We've got a fantastic culture of volunteering here. Challenges that we may have had probably in our second year when our course flooded, and it really flooded. So where the yellow playground was totally underwater.
Oh my gosh.
Then when Campbelltown Council redid our start, I don't know if you remember, we used to go around the level. Now we've got this delightful little hill to go down and give you a bit of speed to get going, and then just challenge you on the way back.
It is a lot of fun.
Great.
It is a gorgeous course, and I did actually today. I mean, it's been a bit wet, but we've been blessed. There's been no rain.
Never rains on parkrun day.
I know, right? How good is that? I think that would have helped with the numbers, certainly with my crew. What numbers do you reckon you've got?
Well, we always like to guesstimate at the start. It's a big competition between all of us. I have gone at 297.
Right.
Richard's going with 333. The others are more conservative, around the 268, 270.
Right, okay.
We did have 313 last Saturday.
Oh, wow.
So it would be nice if we could top that this week.
Well, I've got a nice surprise for you. I just bumped into a friend, and in the beginning of in your speech, you said, was anyone back here for the second time? And there was someone.
Oh, thank goodness.
So, and we know as RDs and, as anybody at Parkrun, yes, it's great to have first-timers, but the key is, do they come back? Yeah. And there's a lovely girl called Polly who I'm hoping to chat with. If not, she might have gone already. But I said, g'day, Polly, what are you doing? She's like, I came last week, I walked, and today I ran it.
Oh, that is amazing. And see, those are stories I love to hear. And I love that here at Lochiel we've got a very, very big walking community. There's probably a good 30, 40 that are out every week walking.
Brilliant.
And I just love it. They're a great bunch.
It's good, isn't it? Well, speaking of that, I'm going to walk back to find a coffee. Because
coffees at Lochiel.
They are, and lime milkshakes.
I can't vouch for that, but the coffee's I can.
Thank you, Janet, and congratulations on everything that you do for Parkrun and making everybody's Parkrun Day, so special.
My pleasure. It means the world to me.
Love your work. Good on you. Thanks, Janet.
Happy streaking.
Happy streaking. Yes, Streaky September. There you goes. Janet, you're doing 365, aren't you? Oh, wow. See, one of Billow's mates. Well done. Good on you. Good on you, Janet. All right, I'm going to wander back now to find the crew, walking back past the legends who worked on it. Well done, Kate.
Thanks, PK.
Well done.
See you again.
See you, mate.
Say bye.
Bye. Fantastic. Yeah, so it's been another awesome day. I don't think I'm going to actually get a chance to catch Polly, who I referred to, but I can talk about how wonderful, as I said, it is that someone does come back. As we know, it's not easy coming to Parkrun, but to actually do it the next week. And And those who are addicted, I don't know if you can remember. Can you remember your first time? Can you remember your second time? I certainly remember my second time. I was just so enamoured with this world and had to convince my family to come back. You know, I think that's what it was, because he wanted to share it. I'm hoping there are a lot of people that did do parkrun for the second time this week after last week coming along for the Bring a Friend. And I think that's what Polly, who I talked about, she came last week as part of Bring a Friend and then came back for the second week. So, yeah, we're just walking back now. And I also just wanted to just chime in here and thank you, Mel, for the wonderful experience again of being the co-host. Not sure who we're listening to this week, but I'm sure they're awesome and doing a great job. And Tok, loved your work last week, mate. Love it. So how good is it that this podcast is still continuing and keeping people inspired about the awesome world that we love, that is parkrun. Anyway, just signing off now. Just a short one for PK today. You'll be pleased to know. Keep doing awesome things, everyone. Cheers.
G'day, parkrun adventurers. It's Lyndall. And I've just left my hotel in North Milan, or Milano Nord, in search of the Milano Nord parkrun. Now, I don't know whether Google Maps is making this overly complex for me, but apparently there's not very many entrances to the park. And even though the parkrun is literally across the road from my hotel, I have to walk for 1.5 k's to get to the entrance. So, I've left with lots of time. I don't want to miss this one, particularly, look, I drove 3 hours from France to get here, and I'm driving 4.5 hours back to France after the parkrun to fulfill my other commitments. So you could say it's been a bit of a mercy dash of an adventure today, to tick off another country and a new parkrun and see what it's like to do parkrun in another country. Wish me luck. The other thing I'm not so sure about, it's my first parkrun in a non-English speaking country, so wish me luck on that front as well. It will be an adventure in more ways than one, so I'll check in again soon when I've found the parkrun. Alright, I think I'm on the right track. I've found a flag, but it's not in a park. It's at a coffee shop. I've never seen a parkrun flag at a coffee shop, so this must be the after coffee place. Now, I've found the owner. Is that right?
Yes, we are a partner for Italian Harcourt Nord parkrun, and after the race we offer for the runner coffee and ice cream, the best ice cream in Italy.
That sounds like a deal to me. See you later on.
See you later.
All right, I've finally found the entrance to the park. Hello. This is the welcoming committee. There's a man here directing people. Hello, what's your name?
Battista.
Battista, do you help people find the parkrun here?
No speak English.
It's okay. No, it's okay. Thank you. Grazie. Grazie for parkrun.
Please, please.
Let's do the run.
Okay, dritto.
This way?
100 meters, start parkrun.
Wonderful. Grazie.
Prego. Bye.
So one of the folks that jumped out of a taxi to the welcoming committee, found these guys. What's your name? Where are you from?
My name is Trish Massimo. This is my husband Trevor, and we are from Lochiel Parkrun in Boyle in County Roscommon in the west of Ireland.
That's a really long place location.
It's a long place location, but to give you the full directions, it is in Connacht, which is on the western seaboard. So it's a small little place in Ireland, but we love it. And we are 48 people that have travelled to Milan for parkrun tourism.
And you've come here 48 just to tour?
Just to tour, yeah. Just because we've travelled earlier on this year. We went to the parkrun at Severn Bridge in Bristol. And what else have we done? Yeah, in the UK. And we do a lot of parkrun tourism locally in Ireland. So we try to do our 5Ks, shake it up a little bit every week and just see a different place, you know.
So why Milano Nord and why Italy?
Why
not?
Precisely. Why not? Hey, I've got a hot tip. They do ice cream afterwards, so
Result. Win-win all the way.
Best ice cream in Italy, apparently. So
Result. Win-win. Win-win-win. Great. Brilliant.
And how long are you in Italy for?
We're here until Monday.
Okay,
so we
just
travelled from
3 days.
3 days. Travelled yesterday, and we're travelling back on Monday morning early. So back to square one on Monday, but we'll have bounce in our step after
the Milan box ticked.
Yeah, we'll have the Milan Parkrun box ticked. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, ciao. This is our run director. Hello.
No, non sono run director, sono starter.
Oh, the starter.
And addetto ai token.
I'm the
Token assistant.
Okay, a very important job.
My job?
Yes.
I am sono in the office, work in the office.
Yes. And you volunteer at Parkrun?
No capito.
Oh, it's okay. Thank you very much. Thank you for helping to run Parkrun today.
Ok, bene, molto bene.
See you later.
Allora partiamo là,
Okay, we're back at the cafe. We've had our post-parkrun ice cream, and I have to say it might be the best ice cream in Italy. And I'm here with Max.
Yeah. Nice to meet you.
Max, you are the run director today and also the event director for Milano Nord.
Yeah. Yes. So today we have broken the national record with 230 people running and walking. So I'm pretty happy about it.
Yes, it was a very celebratory, festive parkrun today.
Yeah, we did a special party just for the foreign people coming today. A lot of Irish people, Australian and English people. We have also people coming from the southern part of America, a Russian one, so a lot of foreign people.
So you have lots of tourists here every week?
Yeah, every week. So even if we are not a very touristic place in Italy, obviously you know Venice or Florence or Rome. So we are a pretty international city, so there are a lot of people coming here for business. So tomorrow, for example, there's a Formula 1 Grand Prix in Monza, next to the park. So I guess some people are coming here just for that event.
Yes, I spoke to one man from the UK who was here for the Grand Prix, and also two from South Africa who had come for the Grand Prix as well.
The forecast is 200,000 people tomorrow in Monza. So a lot of people coming just for the Grand Prix.
Well, I wonder why we only had 200 at Parkrun. Now, Max, how long have you been involved in Parkrun, and how did you get involved?
So we started 3 years ago. We have the anniversary in a pair of weeks. This has been the third parkrun that started in Italy. We were less than 1,000 registered people in Italy at that time, and I discovered it just for case. I was typing on the internet for a run in a park.
Yes.
So I discovered parkrun, and I wrote an email, and they answered to me. So I decided to start here.
Yes. Wonderful. And that's how you got involved, was just jumping in and starting a whole new parkrun.
Yes. So I guess today is my presence number 140 as a volunteer.
Yes.
So probably I'm in the first 3 in the ranking in Italy as volunteer.
You are a super volunteer, Max.
Yeah. I volunteer because I'm a little bit lazy. I don't like a run.
You don't like to run, but you like to volunteer.
Yeah. Someone has to do it.
That's right. And you bring so much happiness to so many people.
Oh, thanks.
I've been to a lot of different parkruns, and the party at Milano Nord is second to none. It is probably the most festive parkrun I've ever been to.
Thank you. No, I was thinking because, I'm used to go to the Six Nation tournament, and we have always a lot of Irish and Italian people singing all together before the match. So I decided it was the right way to party today with the national anthems.
It was very beautiful.
Oh, thanks.
I should have tuned up my vocal cords and sung Land Down Under or something. No. I will save you from that, Max.
You need to invite a lot of Australian people so that we can sing as well. The Australian anthem.
Yes, I think that's a plan. All right.
Why not?
Why not?
I've been in Australia 3 times. So I'm very fond of Australian people and habits. So I would be grateful for me to have a lot of Australian people hosting here.
Well, I will certainly give Milano Nord Parkrun a big thumbs up to every Australian that I know.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Because I've had such a wonderful experience here. So thank you very much, Max. And all the best for another big party in a few weeks' time at your anniversary. And is there anything else that you would like to say to the adventurers?
No, just to invite all the Australian people coming here in Europe. So they want to pass here. I will be happy to show some of the beauties we have in Milan. Thank you.
Thank you, Max. Thank you so much, and thank you for putting on this parkrun.
No worries.
It's wonderful. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Alrighty, parkrun adventurers. That's a wrap from me from Milano Nord Parkrun. Now, I am so happy that I came here. It wasn't a given. It wasn't on our original itinerary, but Aussies being Aussies and knowing that it's only 3 hours drive or 4 hours drive, that's nothing for us. So it was too good an opportunity, and I thought I'd give it a crack, and what an experience. The community here is so friendly, they're so happy, it's a party atmosphere. The course itself is really quite beautiful. It's a flat 2-loop course through one of the probably biggest parks going around in metropolitan Milan. So it's a really nice course. And Max, what a sweetheart. What just a lovely, lovely man he is. And the contribution he's made to start a parkrun here in Milan is just really, really special. So, that's it from me. That's a wrap. This is Lyndall, over and out for the Channel 5 News crew on the Parkrun Adventurers.
And hello, we're at, Harcourt Hill Parkrun, and I'm with...
Catherine Daly.
Mark Taylor.
Okay, and you two are virtually looking after the run today. Could you tell me a little bit about the history of the course?
Yeah, sure. So Harcourt Hill is just on the outskirts of Oxford. So we're part of the Oxford Parkrun group. We're hosted by Oxford Brookes University, so we run on their campus. Our course is a 2-lapper. It's run pretty much all on grass. And despite our name, it's a pretty flat parkrun.
Very.
I think of all the local runs, we're probably the baby of the group. We probably get an average of about 120 runners here every week, compared to our neighbours who tend to get more like 300, 400, 500. So we like to think of ourselves as small but friendly. I think we next week we'll celebrate our 250th run, and in October we'll celebrate our 5th birthday.
It is our 5th, yeah.
So we're looking forward to celebrations for that.
Darn, I've missed out on cake yet again.
Yeah. Sorry, if you were here next week or in October,
it'll be cake.
There'll be cake.
Yeah.
First rule of parkrun.
I will say it's a really nice course to run around. It's relatively level, but there's a section that does go uphill somewhat. And my legs were certainly feeling that by the second lap through there. You've also got some fantastic trees on the course, which I really did appreciate going through.
Yeah, it's lovely. I was tail walking today, which is always nice because you get the chance to take in the scenery and the views. And so, yeah, we run around a small golf course, which is nice. And so we get some, and then there's a small section through a little woodland as well, which breaks up the course a bit. So yeah, it's good.
Okay. And Mark, you were saying that you've actually been involved with an MS group.
Yeah, so Parkrun in the UK, with the Department of Health, set up something called the PROVE project, which was set up to get people with chronic, acute and long-term conditions involved in parkrun, whether it was running, walking or volunteering. And one of those groups was the multiple sclerosis group. And I've had MS for about 16, 17 years. So for a year, I was the parkrun ambassador for MS, going around encouraging people with MS to join in and volunteer, and getting some of the larger charities in the UK, the MS Society and the MS Trust, to take over a parkrun to sort of spread the message. And that has been a lot of fun, especially since a lot of people don't realise the importance of volunteering. So parkrun's fabulous if you want to get fit, but it's also fabulous if you want to just get out and spend some time with people. And for the MS community, it can be quite a lonely life. But if you know you can come out every Saturday and help with a run, get to know people, have a coffee afterwards, it stops the loneliness of that particular condition. So parkrun's fantastic for that.
Yeah, parkrun's actually quite useful for many different things, and I guess the guy who started it does consider the social side to be as important as more important than the actual running.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a huge thing. I think when he started it off, the idea was that he would organise everything as long as everyone would have a coffee with him at the end. And that is a core thing. I think Parkrun is very proud that the average time of a parkrun has gone down each year. This, if people want to run fast, that's fine, but it's much more of a general community of people who just want to get together on a Saturday morning and get a bit of air on their skin and have a coffee afterwards.
Okay, and the other one is both of you two seem to get around to quite a few different parkruns.
Yeah, we're slightly obsessive parkrun tourists, especially me. I'm the parkrun tragic of the family, so I plan our holidays and our weekends around parkruns. So I think I'm on about 83 different ones. I think Mark's done about 60-something different ones as well.
62, 63, yeah, something like that.
So we're not here home at Harcourt Hill as probably as much as we should be. But
and what would you say would be some of your favourite courses?
Oh, well, I think what a real highlight this year for us was we were two of a group of about 150 people that did the New Year's Day double running in Copenhagen in Denmark at 9 o'clock, and then 2 hours later in Malmo, Sweden. So it was the first international New Year's Day double, and it was just fantastic. We had an absolute blast.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Having to run not just the park run, but to the train.
We never stopped running that day, from the running the park run, running to the train, getting in the train, running to the start, running the second, but it was just brilliant. We were on a high for weeks after that.
Absolutely,
so,
and the people of Copenhagen and Malmo are incredibly friendly, so the parkrun directors of both races coordinated.
Runs, not races.
It's a race stroke
no,
run,
it's
walk,
not.
whatever.
Run,
but
it's a run.
Okay, Mel, there's a bit of editing that may be involved here.
No. So, but the coordination was fabulous, and the Malmo run director deliberately slowed down her briefing to make sure people could sort of join and catch up. And it was just fabulous. It was probably my favourite tourist run so far, I think, overall.
This year I completed my parkrun alphabet, which I was quite proud of. So, and in the UK, there's no Z. You have to go abroad. So I went over with a group of other UK parkrun tourists to Zielona Góra in Poland, which was a fantastic experience. So yeah, we've been around a bit. We've just come back from a family holiday in Canada, where we managed to squeeze in 3 parkruns on the west coast of Canada.
I think you'd qualify rather well as parkrun tourists.
Parkrun tourists, tragics,
or nuts, whatever. I mean, I've got an injury at the moment, so I only walked one of them. But volunteering across the world, David, you know this. You just volunteered today. It is just as fabulous. So helping out at Whistler and helping out at Richmond Parkrun in Vancouver was great. But it was nice to walk Calgary. That was a really friendly
Nose
parkrun.
Hill was great.
Nose Hill,
wasn't it?
yeah. Thank you.
We've got around, and we try to travel a lot in the UK as well. We're lucky here that we're really never that far from a parkrun. I get you guys, I think, have to travel a bit further sometimes to do your touring, but it's growing.
No, look, it's great. I enjoyed the course today, the people more than anything else.
Oh, well, it's great to meet you. Great to have you here.
And I thank both of you.
Yeah.
Very much. And I should also say, I'm glad to hear that you knew all about Scotty and Mel.
Yes, well, I'm a big Parkrun podcast fan. I love listening to the With Me Now podcast. I don't know if you know that, which is hosted by Danny Norman and Nicola Forward. But I and through them I got to hear about the Parkrun Adventurers. And so, hello to Mel, hello to Scotty. We think you do a great job too. So it's great to hear about our Parkrun friends on the other side of the world.
Absolutely. Beautiful. Thank you both.
Thank you. Thank you. Come back soon.
Another massive contribution of awesome roving reports from the Channel 5 news crew. Again, I should mention that Mark's report from Ginninderra Parkrun should have been included in last week's podcast. 100% my bad. I had a bit of a moment or several moments actually, because he told me via email and Facebook that he had submitted said files, and I still completely missed adding it in and didn't realise until after I'd edited the pod. So, Mark, my apologies.
But how lovely is Ginninderra? I've been to Ginninderra.
It is gorgeous, and I mean, I obviously would like to try out the new course, but I don't imagine it is extremely different from what the old course was. They still run around the lake. But yeah, beautiful event. And Greta was at Strathalbyn talking to some grannies, which was awesome. It sounds like they've definitely been around, especially coming from Main Beach, heading all the way down to SA. We have PK, and you know what I really loved? When he was chatting to Janet, and they were talking about the pre-event briefing, and that she asked if there were any second-timers. Janet, I am totally stealing that for my pre-event brief in future. I love that idea.
Yeah, and that's really good that Medibank's Bring a Friend Days been a success, and that those people came along on the Bring a Friend Day and decided they liked this thing called parkrun that we're addicted to.
And Lyndall was in Italy this week. This one was a bit of a special one for me to listen to, because I used to live in Milan. I mean, pre-parkrun, unfortunately, but I cannot wait to have a visit, look at all the old haunts, and grab myself a parkrun while I'm there.
Just this week I had this idea that if I was going to book an overseas trip, how would be the challenge of trying to do every single country in the world? That would be a level up.
It would definitely be a level up. It would take about 6 months of your life and a lot of finances, I expect. Or you would need some kind of really rich benefactor to bankroll it for you. I mean, unless you can just afford that.
No. We're going to win Tats Lotto on the weekend because Paul got a ticket, so I'll be good.
Oh, so I shouldn't bother buying one myself then if you're already going to win it. And Dave, our final roving reporter for the week, he was at Harcourt Hill Parkrun in Oxford, speaking to some listeners of the pod. So hello to Catherine and Mark. Thank you so much for listening. And by all accounts, Dave had a wonderful morning. So thanks for your hospitality there as well, guys. Now, Melissa, there are no launches this week. You've already mentioned that there's been quite the dry spell in the formerly known as the Great Estate of Victoria.
Oh, I don't know that. We don't need to go that far. I'm going to keep holding the flag. We're still the greatest state down here.
Scotty's not here to defend the title. I mean, half of the roving reporters granted are Victorian.
I think we've got the balance of power. How many Queenslanders are on the
We've got two. We've got two in Queensland.
Yeah, so
we've got 3 in Victoria, 2 in South Australia. We still never quite got that one in WA. I had somebody in mind who I was hoping would step up to the plate, but he never sent me the roving report he promised he would.
I'm
talking to you, Maddie.
We need another girl, Mel. We're not balanced girls to boys in the Channel 5 news crew.
Oh, we need more gender equality. This is true. All right. Well, ladies, look, we should have an amnesty period where it's not difficult to join the Channel 5 news crew.
Oh, what? Hang on. Let's not go that far.
Having spoken to you, I'm starting to worry that maybe we've made it seem really difficult and unattainable and scared people off. And we don't want people to be scared of it. And look, there's not even any requirement to join the Channel 5 news crew. If you just want to do a one-off roving report, you can do that. Just head out there, use the inbuilt audio recording thing on your smartphone if you've got one, and drop us an email at parkrunadventures@gmail.com. We would love to hear from all over the country, all over the world, anyone who wants to do one. Send it in.
And Mel, can I give people a little tip?
Please.
I used to get really stressed at first because I thought I had to record a whole interview from start to finish and not make any mistakes. And if I made a mistake, I had to go, oh, can we do that again? I fluffed it. And then I realised, I can just edit it. I can just cut the crappy bits out.
Absolutely. And even if people don't have the power or the knowledge to do the editing themselves, we can do that for you on this end. I am 4 weeks into being self-taught at this whole editing malarkey. And I think I'm doing okay so far.
You are.
I've got some room for improvement, I know. Getting there slowly. And I know how to remove ums and ahs where they happen with enough. Well, there you go. I'll get rid of that one. No, I won't. I should probably keep it in for illustrative purposes. I know how to remove them when there's enough space either side without the noise. And usually there is. People tend to take a break before they do them. Speaking of breaks, I have not had a break in 10 days from streaking. But how are you doing, Mel? You're still on the streak bandwagon?
Yes, I'm streaking. I'm still going. I'm making an effort every day, at least walking 2 kilometres if I don't have a run. But Mel, mine's more swoopy September.
Spring is the time for magpies to nest and or get very protective about said nests and do some swooping. We've already had swoops on the podcast. Gary got swooped a couple of weeks ago on the Gold Coast when he was just standing there minding his own business in his propeller hat, giving high fives on the course. And you're having your own version of Streaky September, Swoopy September. You've moved to a new house and the magpies live there too.
Well, I've spent all year feeding these magpies. I'm trying to make friends with them. I want to be that lady who can hand feed them, and I go out every morning and I give them a little bit of meat. I know you're not supposed to give them bread and the other things, so I've been reading up and learning how to make friends with them because I love magpies. But it just seems that all I've managed to do is make my house ground zero for magpie swooping. and nobody can come to my front door, and my kids are swooped and the postman's swooped.
Do they swoop you though?
Yes.
Okay. So they're swooping the head of the hand that feeds them.
Yes, I know, right?
Well, you've debunked that myth.
I know. And I put on social media, I did a little video footage because it was hilarious the other day. My daughter came to visit and she brought the dogs, and the dogs were trapped in the car because she got swooped as she got out and she was too scared to go back, and Paul had to go and rescue them, and the magpie's madly swooping, and I'm standing there videoing, laughing my head off, thinking it's hilarious. And I posted it on social media and everybody's saying, you've got to feed them. You've got to feed them. And I'm like, I have been.
So what you need to say is, that's a lie. Feeding doesn't work.
But it's okay because I love him and I know they're only doing what comes naturally, and he's being very protective of his little magpie family that's obviously close by. I can just empty the mailbox at night and I can take the bins out at night. It's all good. It's only for a few weeks.
Birds do funny things at this time of year.
So I'm trying to streak in different places. So I obviously clearly can't go up and down my street. That's my goal.
Well, I'm really bored with my local area. This is my problem. I want to streak elsewhere just because I'm tired of all the local streets.
I know, right? How about all these people on the Streaky group and all the fancy photos they've got? I'm getting very jealous.
The photos are awesome. I'm loving now that Streaky Bingo is out, starting to see the incoming pics of unusual letterboxes. And gnomes, I'm waiting for the influx of gnomes.
Yes, I've got letterbox FOMO. Everybody in my estate's very by the rules. I'm going to have to go searching.
I'm wondering how many people are going to streak to Bunnings to get a selfie with a gnome.
Oh, I'm working at Bunnings. I didn't think of that. Damn it. Next week.
And this is the thing. I was having a chat to Scotty about the different Streaky September challenges this year, and he wanted to know what the significance of a selfie with a gnome was, because this was my idea. And I said, well, we had Tabitha on the pod recently, and they have Kirk, who's their resident gnome out at Broken Hill Racecourse Parkrun. And I said, so it's kind of significant because of that. However, mostly it's just like, what do I want to see pictures of? I think people taking selfies with gnomes would be fun. So let's just see how many people we can get to take selfies with gnomes all over the world. Maybe, okay, we should probably go back and we should talk about what the Streaky Bingo challenges are for this year, because we're probably getting a little bit ahead of ourselves, and possibly we've got listeners out there who haven't seen the bingo card, which has been shared on the Parkrun Adventurers Facebook page. But I will go through the Streaky September bingo challenges. So we want to make sure everyone's on the same page. We have had some interesting interpretations. I believe Tok he took a selfie and he's like, I think this is going to be my selfie for Streaky Bingo. And I was just wondering where the gnome was. But somebody else pointed out to him, are you the gnome, Tok? And he's like, oh, I completely missed the gnome part and just read selfie. So yes, that's one of the bonus. Well, it's the only proper bonus on the card this year is a gnome selfie, as we've just been talking about. So you need to take a photo of yourself with a gnome. We have had Errol. Errol, thank you for listening to the pod and thanks for taking part in Streaky September. I appreciate seeing the picture that you took of the gnomes, and I did comment about where were you, and you said you wouldn't be in photos, but we want to see you, Errol. We want to see you with the gnomes, and we want to see everybody with the gnomes. So please take the selfie with the gnome in order to cross that one off your bingo card. Tie or tutu, Mel, do you think you can understand what this one might be?
Go for a run wearing a tie or a tutu.
Absolutely, or a walk
in public,
any kind of streak.
Oh yeah,
park run. That's the easiest one. This is the one we've had every single year on Streaky Bingo, and it's one we hope everybody should be able to achieve in the month of Streaky September. We've got with a pooch, and it's got an asterisk. Do you remember what the asterisk meant last year, Mel?
No.
No. What? Oh my goodness, you're sacked now too. Every co-host keeps coming on and doing some kind of sackable offence. So that's yours. You don't remember last year. So last year we decided that if you didn't have a dog, no. You know what?
What?
No, I completely am misremembering what it is.
Oh, who's sacked now?
I'm mixing it up with streaking after 11 p.m. I don't remember what the asterisk meant last year with the pooch. If somebody can remember, please let me know. But this year, what it means is if you can't do it with a pooch, either yours or somebody else's, please don't steal a dog. Unless you want to take one from a refuge and take it out for a walk for a day and there's some kind of program within which you can do that, that's great. And we encourage you to do so. No, if you can't do it with a pooch, your own or borrowed, you need to streak with a pineapple. Because we all know I love pineapples.
That wouldn't be awkward to run with at all.
It's
on a leash?
Well, you could put it on a leash if you want to, but it's I know they're a bit spiny and prickly. You might want to skin your pineapple first.
Baby carrier.
Yeah, you could do it in a baby if you've got access to a baby carrier. You know, people can get creative with these things. And then, okay, so moving right along, barefoot. That one I think is pretty self-explanatory. Take your shoes off. do it someplace, we recommend surfaces that are kind to feet if your feet aren't necessarily used to doing it barefoot. Sand is a good starter, or possibly grass. I always barefoot run on the grass. With a friend, that one is also what I would consider to be self-explanatory. I should say, Mel, have you got any questions about any of the ones that are on the card?
Well, I've been looking at with someone new, so I guess I've got to find somebody that I haven't been on a walk with before. Maybe one of my friends that isn't particularly active, and I've got to drag them out for at least 2 kilometres.
Well, it doesn't necessarily have to be an inactive person, but just, you're right when you say with somebody who you've never been out with, like one-on-one before, I guess. And this was Scotty's suggestion, that I am co-hosting with someone new every week throughout the whole month of Streaky September. So let's let everyone streak with someone new and make some new connections and hear some new stories, because that's what always happens when you streak with someone. You always end up talking. I thought that was a nice one to add in. Good idea, Scotty.
I like it.
Yeah. Then we've got Streaky Strava Art has made a return. I love this one. And it's open to interpretation what you consider to be Strava art. But anyone can do any kind of Strava art. They don't have to be massive, massive Ks. We are not asking people to go that crazy. You can do your Strava art on an oval, and it can be quite small as long as it looks like something. And, it could be abstract art. That's okay. We will not judge. Beauty and art is in the eye of the beholder. Now, unusual letterbox. This is another of Scotty's brainchilds. I'm really intrigued about this. I'm enjoying seeing the letterboxes that have come in so far. People taking photos of people's letterboxes. I hope nobody sort of gets in trouble with any of the owners of houses for just stopping and taking pics of letterboxes. But you mentioned that you've got really boring letterboxes in your neighbourhood.
Well, we've got regulations that you're not allowed to have, they've got to be of a certain style. So that restricts us. So I have to go running other places. I have to go. I'm on the hunt. It's my challenge for the week.
It's not a restriction. It's forcing you to go outside of the norm. Let's put it that way. But the final one is a parkrun adventure. Now, I would like to clarify this one. It doesn't necessarily mean you go to an event that you've never been to before. It can mean that. Absolutely can mean that. But it could also mean some other kind of parkrun adventure, because we've always been about experiencing parkrun in a different way, or in a way that is not usual for you. And I've got mine planned for a couple of weeks. While I am going to a different event every week of this month, I've got an actual, what I call my adventure planned for a fortnight. And I know there's another streaker in the UK who's got a similar adventure planned over there for that week. So that's going to be our parkrun adventure. And I think this is an opportunity for people to once again be creative with what they want to do with Streaky Bingo. And if they're not able to travel further afield for the month, then just do something a bit different. Just make your parkrun an adventure in whichever way you please. And that'll classify as a tick for that item on Streaky September Bingo.
I like it.
So hopefully that keeps people a little bit interested with streaking and helps them mix it up a bit. I don't know how you're going with doing it every day this month, Mel, but I'm having some troubles with some days and struggling to get out there with the boys and squeeze it in every day. How are you getting on with it?
I'm managing to fit it in. Today was a good day. Zoe was at school, so I didn't have any other obligations this morning, so I was able to jump in the car and go down to the local botanic gardens and have a streak in some new magpie free area. So that was really good. have a Strava map that isn't my boring round the block Strava map, which is also good.
Oh, well, I'm glad you're still on the streaking bandwagon. I have heard from other co-hosts I've had in the past that they are no longer on said bandwagon. So we need to support each other and all of us will get there in the end.
Yeah.
10 days down so far, 20 to go.
We can do it.
Now we've been chatting. We've been having a really great blather. This is possibly the longest outro I've ever recorded.
Oops.
That's okay. It's been fun. But I do want to know before we head off, where are you going next week?
I've got a big adventure and I'm really excited.
Details?
We've got our very first overseas park run. Just a few days and we're heading over to Singapore with some parkrun friends, and yes, it was planned purely around parkrun so I could get my first flag.
That is a big adventure.
Yeah, so we're going to Bishan Parkrun in Singapore. So
very excited.
Very excited. And what about you, Mel? What are you up to?
I'm headed to Ocean View Parkrun this weekend, another trail event, my new Nendy. Very excited to be able to finally tick it off. It has been going for a little while now, and I've always been conscious that it's not super pram friendly, but I'm making Adam do it because it's just too close for us not to have done it yet.
Awesome. Is it on the sand?
It's Ocean View because it's up in the hinterland, and I'm assuming there's a view of the ocean. I don't know. I'll be able to report in on that next week.
Oh, that sounds like my kind of parkrun.
There is a champagne breakfast on offer afterwards for anyone wishing to stick around.
That's just gone on the list.
Well, I think we've probably talked everybody's ears off, Mel, so we might need to wrap this up now.
Thank you for having me.
Thank
I've loved
you
it.
for coming. It's been wonderful having you on the pod this week, and I'm excited to have had another female voice to have a chat with, even if you are from Victoria.
The greatest state.
I hope you have an amazing time at your adventure in Singapore this coming weekend. I can't wait to hear all about it. And thank you so much for all your contributions to the podcast over the years.
Oh, thank you.
I know we made it hard for you to join the Channel 5 News crew, but it was all in good fun and only because we knew you could handle it and would rise to the challenge. We know you love your level ups, and there's no more levels to go to now, so...
I've reached the top.
You have. I hope you don't get bored.
Never.